on the previous episode of Talk That Talk.
From the HBCU standpoint, is there a point to where you may feel like worrying about fundamentals will make you sound MEACish? Think about it. Now,
what?
Let me make sure that I say this. I don't believe in that terminology, right? But it's like we always say, right? When a band sounds good, it's too MEAC, right? They MEACish. But in most cases, when you're talking fundamentals, that's generally what people say. So kind of going back to what Quan said, is it the fact that they don't know fundamentals, or is it they fear being labeled as MEACish?
It's almost like people saying somebody sounds MEACish is like an insult. Do y'all realize
It is, though. And in our culture, it is.
No, it's not, because all the people from the MEAC be like, "Thank you." Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Quan.
Okay,
I got an opinion too. Go ahead, Quan.
Okay, so for me, because I'm I marched in the swag, it was thrown as an insult. And it wasn't, we never hated on the sound of the MEAC. We felt like they were boring. I think that's the aspect. Like, prime example, I think $1 Million Funk Squad Real Talk is one of the cleanliest drum sections on the face of the planet. But I feel at times they're boring. Real talk. If you look at when I marched for PV, when it was the box, no slight to MSD or anything like that, like it was like, what are they going to do next? Like, we got the Jack in the Box hats, we putting people through tables, which is the SmackDown show. Like we putting on afros, we doing different things. Like, it was a entertainment show. And then in the stands, we could play. You know what I'm saying? So we had the best of both worlds. So when we said MEACish, it wasn't an insult, because everybody has to pay homage to FAMU. I don't care what you say. If you're a musician and you understand and you study bands, you got to give your due respect to FAMU. When it came to Norfolk, everybody said that y'all had a big sound. Over the years now, as of lately, everybody give their prop and just due to NCAT for bringing the best of both worlds with their shows. So the only thing we were saying was that to sound MEACish, man, you was boring as shit. That's the only difference. You sound great, but I made those off on you. That was really about it.
I agree. To wrap that up, I just think it's more so the difference between hit them with a little flight of the bumblebee versus Morris Brown on the other side. Like really get into it. That's really, from my perspective and what I know, that's really just the difference between the two. It has no bearing on intonation and things of that nature. It's just very much entertainment value versus marches and shit like that.
I.e., prime example, when FAMU played Southern, I believe it was like 07, when they had that vice versa battle, it was like, Southern, yeah, like they crunk, and then FAMU was like, yeah. It's like, bro, y'all friendly.
But the thing about it, Quan, is this, and Julian and I and Mario and I have talked about this all the time. And Chief, I know I'm sorry to jump in, bro. I'm gonna shut up quick, I promise. When MEAC bands play SWAC bands, it's like this bourgeoisie approach to band. They think they're going to go in there and out-musician you. That's what happens with FAM. Every time they play a band in the SWAC that comes with that power that you're talking about, they hit you with that Elsa's. They hit you with 3,000 marches. They try to play, we call it playing the smartest kid in the classroom thing. Oh, we're going to outsmart you, because they feel like they're the most musical thing in the room. And then it be sounding bad, and the crowd like, oh my God, here we go with the
peasants. We have arrived.
Peasants.
Right. So go ahead, Chief, man. But yeah, go ahead, bro. You said you had an opinion.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, my view of that, it's similar to what you just said. I don't have a, I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of MEAC bands would do the same thing as swag bands if they had the numbers. I feel like people be trying to fake. They be trying to act like when you talk about me, when people said MEAC, they were really only talking about Bethune, Fam, and Norfolk. Because prior to, as we were totally swagger jack, like somebody said in the comments from A&T, Norfolk was definitely Norfolk, old Norfolk when we marched. That ain't old Norfolk, but 2000s era, early 2000s Norfolk. Don't be laughing, Quan. and then that later A&T, that looks like Norfolk. They be doing the 4-count turnarounds, and the drill situation looks similar. Now they went a step further. They did. But what I'm saying is that when you saw A&T prior to 2004, they were the big band, the small band with a big sound.
They look